getting more attention is the phobias, isn't it? And I would say that it's the majority of vets would prick up their ears now if they heard that a dog had developed, say, a noise phobia. And I would like to think that they would beginning to connect that with pain. So can we just spend a bit of time there?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So aside from the fact that Mondo linked phobias with perhaps gut dysbiosis, putting that to one side, well, because we've mentioned that bit already, but it's a possibility. But I think one of the things we've got to remember is that, you know, pain can be in the musculoskeletal system, which is what CAM spends a lot of time considering, and pain can be in a whole host of other places in the body. And one of the things that we can't ignore is gastrointestinal pain, because a lot of abnormal behaviours have been linked to gastrointestinal pain. You know, back in the sort of around 2012 to 2014 in particular, we had a number of studies come out where dogs were excessively licking things, licking the floor, licking the furniture, licking themselves, and finding that the majority of those dogs with excessive licking actually had gastrointestinal pain. You know, and similarly with, I mentioned fly catching earlier, this imaginary, I'm trying to catch flies that don't exist. That can be caused by potentially non-painful condition like partial seizures, you know, but also, again, in that era was linked with dogs that had gastritis, inflammatory bowel disease, those sorts of things.
Yeah.
So abnormal behaviours definitely can have, you know, real links in gastrointestinal health that aren't just perhaps about balances of bugs, but are about pain as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, phobias are also, you know, have been linked. Lopez Fagundes in 2019, in association with Daniel Mills' team, did find, you know, and write this paper about musculoskeletal pain being associated with increased noise sensitivity. You know,
Yeah.
And absolutely, I think, you know, the kind of proposed mechanism, one of them is the idea that if you're in pain somewhere in your body, I think we can all understand this, if you've got neck pain, back pain, joint pain, and you startle at a noise, it hurts.
Yes.
And so actually, because of course what the brain tries to do, it tries to go, well, what can I do then to not experience that? So it will look for predictors, quieter predictors, less scary things in the environment, and go, I need to react to those. I need to move away from them. I need to move them away from me, maybe by barking loudly, etc. I need to get that thing out of my environment before I startle, so I don't experience that pain.
Yeah.
You know, and so, you know, this kind of intense startle response that seems out of proportion. The dog ends up screeching when they hear a noise, or perhaps, you know, the dog who is hearing much quieter noises now, but reacting to them in quite a bizarre way. That absolutely can be because of musculoskeletal pain. You know, we don't know that it can't be because of visceral pain, you know, as well, internal pain, because if you jump, you know, then, and you've got particularly sort of pancreas or bladder, then those things hurt too. But certainly musculoskeletal pain, you know, seems a very logical one to have, doesn't it, really?
Yeah. And then I think the paper really describes noise phobias that are developing later in life as well, like middle age upwards.
Yeah, well, it's 4 years onwards, actually. I was reading it today as part of something I'm preparing about noise phobias. And yeah, I think that's quite interesting, because we often think about, we could make an assumption that a lot of dogs develop noise phobias perhaps because they weren't introduced to noises when they were puppies.
Yeah.
But actually, the majority of dogs that go on to develop noise phobias, like fireworks phobias, thunderstorm phobias, gunshot issues, those sorts of noises, those intense loud bangs. Yeah, they seem to kind of occur from at least 3 or 4 years onwards. That's not that we don't have puppies with responses to those things, but the majority of dogs who develop noise phobias, they're coming on sort of early middle age, perhaps we could call it.
You know, it's classic Holly.